now tuned in to this week's episode of our podcast. Today we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. By sharing our collective expertise, we will show you how to harness, control, and use your own skill set to achieve ultimate success and live the life you want. And now, please welcome your host.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Jacob, for that awesome intro. This is the Lucas Chat Podcast with your host, Kennedy Lucas Patterson, y'all. Yeah. So we're live here in the studio, of course, live from Swanky Studios. It's our closed set, of course. We're here for the Lucas Chat Podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic, awesome day. Please be sure to follow us on our social media. And if you guys have not listened to us previously, of course, whether it's the Grizzly Talk podcast or our talk show or our radio show, we're available everywhere, pretty much everywhere. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, SoundCloud, and iTunes. So we're everywhere. So please be sure to like us and listen to us on our audio platform today. Hopefully you guys are staying safe during this whole quarantine session. Of course, we all know about it. It's about 3 weeks in the making now with us doing social distancing. So hopefully you guys are safe and hopefully you guys are ready for another exciting week. Of course, it is a wonderful Tuesday and we do have some news announcements. But before we get to that, of course, if you haven't heard of our new single via from Swanky Records, of course, it's called Go Again. I have partnered up with King Can and Elisa for this new song. Of course, they are two awesome artists around the world, and they partnered up with me with this new song called Go Ahead. I remixed it and reproduced that song, and it's out there on our Spotify accounts everywhere. So whether it's Swanky Records or K.L.P. Entertainment, that song is out there. So if you guys haven't heard it yet, please be sure to listen to it. So let's get on to the fun stuff. Of course, with the Lucas Chat Podcast, we're talking about technology. Today's show, of course, we're going to talk about Facebook. Facebook's new quiet mode option lets you turn off the app's push notifications. So very, very techy if you guys are huge on Facebook. To be honest, I'm actually more on Instagram than I am Facebook, but I do advocate our businesses, whether it's K.L.P. Entertainment, Element Magazine, Swanky Studios, K.L.P. Photography. I have that on Facebook too, so you guys can follow those Facebook pages. But we're going to talk about Facebook because a lot of people are utilizing Facebook right now as a good way to entertain yourself during this whole social distancing thing. Of course, Facebook today is launching a new feature called Quiet Mode that will allow you to minimize distractions by muting the app's push notifications for a time frame of your specific time. The company announced the change as an update on its COVID-19 newsroom post, describing it was a way for users to set boundaries about how they spend their time on Facebook as they adjust new routes and to working from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's really good that they're launching this thing because honestly, Facebook is trying to find ways to not advocate fake news and advocate bad news, whether it comes from their technologies and whether it's come from their apps and their Facebook accounts itself. So what I'm saying is Facebook, nowadays, this whole experience with this pandemic, a lot of things go out on Facebook that might necessarily not be true. And it's the same way with Twitter, but Twitter is a little bit more accurate than Facebook, I would say, when it comes to its news. I've said this in previous podcasts. I've said this in previous shows in the past. I don't believe in fake news. I don't believe in what sources are saying and sources or experts are saying this and this and this and this and a third. I need to see the actual co-facts of what's going on in the world. And I feel like a lot of people are saying a lot on Facebook that may necessarily not be true. Yes, thank you. So I try to tell people to just be careful about what they read on Facebook, simply because Facebook has a lot of fake news. You know, some things are just not true. I honestly didn't believe it when they say that 5G technology caused coronavirus. That's a load of bullshit, in my opinion, honestly, because I just don't believe in the whole 5G causing coronavirus. Some people are saying that this thing was planned by China. I don't believe that until I actually see it. And if a prime minister of China just admits that that's the case, then yes, but I don't believe it. A lot of my friends are saying that. A lot of my coworkers are saying that too. And I just don't believe it because, number one, I'm a huge Chinese man lover. You know, I'm big on Chinese culture and Korean culture. I love K.P. So I don't particularly believe that story. Be careful what you read on Facebook. According to Facebook, you can either turn on and off the quiet mode as needed, or you can schedule to have it run automatically at a assigned time. For an example, if you work from home from 9 to 5, you could send quiet mode to automatically run during your workday to reduce your temptation to waste time in the app. I honestly, that's a good thing because I spend a lot of time on social media. As you guys know, we do media stuff. That's our business. That's our brand. So I have to be on my phone pretty much a lot more than I used to. I am working on trying to distance myself from my phone because a lot of people are very addictive to social media and their phones in general. And I honestly think people should learn how to do that. I know it sucks right now because it's hard. We're all at home. There ain't really much to do. But I try to stay away from my phones and news. I do dabble in technology, though. Of course, I play video games. So if I have the off time, I play video games to just let my mind recharge and refresh. Or I'm either podcasting with you guys, or I'm doing homework. A lot of us right now, we're on school. So some people who are dedicated to their school, they may not have time to sit there and play on Facebook and see what's going on. A lot of people do that a lot of people, they waste time. If you try to launch the Facebook during quiet mode, the app will remind you that you've set this time aside with a goal of limiting your time in the app, the company explains. Of course, the controls of quiet mode will be found in a new section on Facebook where you can view other data about your time spent on Facebook platform. Here, you're able to browse the charts, and that shows you the time you've spent on Facebook on a daily basis. The comparison of your daytime version versus the nighttime use. The other chart that lets you see how much time you open the Facebook app each day. So, it's a great idea what Facebook's trying to do. I do wonder, and this is a question for my Lucas Nation fans out there and K.L.P Worldwide fans. Do you think that this is a good opportunity for Facebook? Do you think this is a good thing for Facebook? Now, it's a good thing because I see Facebook's trying to serve that great purpose to let people not be discouraged about what's going around in the world. But do you think that they would lose viewership? Do you think, because if you think about these apps like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, they operate not only with the ads, because there's a lot of ads that show up in your Facebook, and it's a scary thing too, because when you go looking for something on Amazon or you go looking for a new home, it shows on your Facebook, hey, we've got this. We've noticed that you've been looking on your computer with the new technology with Amazon, or you're looking at a new home presented by Zillow. We'll offer you this. Get this app. So it's weird. It's so weird how, like, when you search for something in Google or Facebook, and it's the same company, same people, same realm, but it's so funny when you're looking for something and then Facebook shows you an ad for it, and it's like, how did you know I was looking for that? Of course, they're using cookies. They're using privacy kind of settings there to hack in and see what you've been buying, and so that way they can sell it to you. So, I mean, that's a good way to make Facebook, a good way that Facebook makes its money. And also Facebook makes its money after viewership. You know, how many people are using the app? How many people are going to Facebook website in general? And that's how they populate viewership, and that's how they were able to get money. So if you were to limit that out of people's time, and people are spending less time on Facebook, you know, how many viewerships would you lose? How many people will try to use this thing and not use Facebook as much as they would like to, or as much as they used to, and then they end up losing that viewership? So it's just something to think about for sure, ladies and gentlemen, for sure. I mean, it's logic, right? I mean, it makes sense. It really does make sense. Of course, Facebook introduced this for its first time spent charts back in 2018, but their appearance have changed to better match the style of the new Your Time on Facebook section. Rolling out today, Facebook has also now added more analysts, including new week-over-week trends and the time of day charges, and the chart displaying the number of visits. Of course, in addition, this section will include an option to enable a weekly report that will let you know how you manage your time. It will also link to the activity log, of course, of your own interaction across Facebook, including reactions, comments, posts, and it will link to other features that were previously buried in the settings, including your newsfeed, preference, and notification settings. Of course, the former where you design which people can see that you see on your first newsfeed, which to snooze, which unfollow, and it would do so. Of course, the notification settings and sections, meanwhile, lets you turn on and off the push notifications and email for specific updates from Facebook, like new comments, friend request tags, birthdays, and more. Again, this is a great follow-up with this because it really helps limit it. I get a lot of notifications from Facebook for my business accounts. Of course, when I post something on my personal Facebook, just for the fun of it, I get quite a few people to like it, few people to comment on it. You know, I rarely have my Facebook friends. They rarely comment on a photo. They like my photos, but they rarely comment on it unless it's something that piques their interest for sure. It was a great thing. I posted on Facebook. I'm getting ready to move, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to say that on the podcast, new home. And I were able to get a lot of friends to comment on there. So I don't think that's a problem for me because I rarely have people to comment on my Facebook post. But if you're one of those people that, you know, that's posting every 24 hours and every minute of every 24 hours, and you're able to have people comment on it, like, this might be the thing for you for sure. Today's changing the latest series and efforts that Facebook has made in recent years, focusing on users' digital well-being. And, you know, the digital well-being movement pushes forward the idea that our smartphones and applications weren't built with mental health needs that their users in mind, but rather designed to maximize the time we spent staring at screens. Users have become aware of addictiveness for the mobile devices. Yes, honestly, we're in 2020, you know. Everyone's addicted to their phones, you know. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to Facebook. I'm not addicted to my phone. Yes, I have to have my phone charged. Yes, I have to be on my phone pretty much a lot because, again, that's our business. You know, we do a lot of media work using either our phones or the iPads or even the equipment here in the office. So, what I say to addictiveness, try to make sure, Lucas Nation fans, that this doesn't become addictive. I know it's hard now because we have really nothing else to do. If you're still working, you know, kudos to you. But if for some of the people who are not working and have really nothing to do, your phone is your best friend. So try to find ways to not be on your phone during this time period. Try to find ways to you know, go outside. And I mean, don't go outside to where there's a lot of people for sure, but go outside. Maybe in your neighborhood to maximize your use to stretch and exercise. If you're a gamer, flip up the video game. You know, we've just played the new Final Fantasy Remake game. Go buy the game, you know, keep you occupied. For all of you guys that are in school right now and doing online classes, you know, continue to do that and do your thing and do homework. You know, just try to minimize your Facebook use. Facebook, I congratulate you on doing something like this. I honestly think Facebook should converse to news announcements and news that's going around the world to be accurate before anyone can just put anything up. I just think it's a little bit excessive right now because everyone's posting anything just to say anything about anything. So I think the next target should be Facebook should focus on that. So that's going to do it for the Lucas Chat podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show. Please remember to follow all of our social media in the link description below. That's going to do it. I'm your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. Stay safe and stay swanky, ladies and gentlemen.
Left what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even